All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, we want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. A double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully Akim out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to being so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American. One of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brothers from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to prophesy, man, to do what we're created to do. And in this lesson, we're gonna go into Revelation 17, man, because the spirit is being very heavy on brothers, just to let it be known what the Most High is gonna do, what His will is, what His intents and purposes are. You see, and just to put the word on notice that everything the Most High has spoken is gonna come to pass. You see, so let's get it.
Revelation chapter 17.
My bad, Revelation 7. Revelation 7.
Revelation 7, verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
And that goes into what, man? The destruction. The Most High has the angels holding this destruction back. You see, and what destruction is that? It's the destruction of America. When these nations are going to shoot nuclear missiles to this place and burn it up by way of nuclear fire. This is what the end of America is going to be, man. Destruction by fire for all the wickedness that goes on in this place, for what they've done unto the Israelites. This is what the Most High has ordained to be, and this is what's coming. You see? Let me real quick to show you what that wind is, man.
Did you say Revelation 17, verse 1 or 7?
This is Jeremiah 1. Jeremiah 51 and 1. It says what? Babylon judged for sins. Babylon judged for sins against Israel. You see? Jeremiah 51 and 1. It says what? Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And that destroying wind is what? That nuclear destruction that the Most High has the angels holding back. You see? So I tell you in the book of Malachi that what? The day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
Hey,
that's exactly what's coming, man. Fire is coming to the land of America. What's up, bro?
No, I'm just saying, when you see those nuclear missiles, that wind just sweeps everything, you know? The destruction. When you see like videos.
Go ahead now.
Revelation 7 and 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
So that's why the destruction is being held back. You see, the destruction is being held back because the Most High is waiting for what? All of the elect to be sealed, man. For all the true believers to hear this word and believe upon it and repent and believe upon Yahweh Shai. That's what the Most High is waiting for. You see? And that seal represents what? That Thawah. That mark of exemption from judgment that the Most High is going to give to the true believers. Let's prove that real quick. This is Ezekiel 9. And we'll start at verse 4. Ezekiel 9 and 4 says what? And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. That's who the angels are waiting for, man. For all the believers of Yahweh Shah to be sealed in their foreheads with that Tawah. And when that happens, what's next? The destruction of America, man. This is why Yahweh Shah was so adamant about us doing what? Preaching the word, man. So his believers, his sheep, his lamb could hear it and be sealed unto salvation. So America can be destroyed, man. You see? What you got?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, starting verse 22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi al-Shah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bitter and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction.
And if you ever seen a nuclear missile, that those tests they do, even an atomic missile, when you drop it, it shoots that mushroom cloud up, and that wind sweeps in all directions, man. It's gonna be the same way when those missiles hit the land here in America, man. It's gonna cause that mushroom cloud to rise, and that destroying wind is gonna sweep in a fucking 360 circumference, man. You see, in every direction, destroying everything in its path. You see?
And they have videos of the 1940s when they were testing nuclear bombs, man. When one went off like 90 feet below the ocean, they sent one off, and all these ships were around it. Hey, that shit destroyed everything on the ocean, man. You see that mushroom cloud come up, and all those boats just tipped over, man.
Yep, that's what it's gonna be, but that is not gonna happen until what? As we read in Revelation 7, to all the servants of the Most High sealed in their foreheads. You see? This is another way we can measure the times. Now, we don't know if all the elect are sealed, you see? But when we see more and more talks about what? Nuclear missiles being shot off, when we start getting closer and closer to that time, we know that the elect is sealed, man.
And when that first nuclear missile went off,
the elect is sealed.
It's sealed,
The
man.
elect is sealed, yep. That was it. Yes, more.
More it says, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. So he spoke it, man. It's a wrap. That's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that word besom, in the Strong's dictionary, it says H4292, and it says broom, besom.
Sweeping agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's removing dirt, removing dust.
And that's what's gonna happen, man. When that missile hit, that fucking hot ass, because that shit gonna be hot. It's gonna sweep across the land, man, and destroy everything in its path. You want a good illustration of that? Go watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day. When that fucking nuke went off, that besom of destruction was coming across. And what happened? Sarah Connor ass was stuck to that fence. Next time the camera panned back to her ass, she was a skeleton. Then after that, she was turned to dust. And that's what's going to happen to the people in America who are not, to everyone in America, man. For 2/3 of our people and you heathen nations. And the only ones who are going to escape from that is the remnant of Israel, man. You see? Y'all brothers holding?
No, go ahead, brother.
You holding, Shabbat?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Get it, bro.
Back in Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So when you read that, man, how could you say that that's not talking about literal Israelites? Because that's what the Christians say. You see? That is not literal. No, man, it's talking about the actual seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. You see that? And the 144,000 represents what? The governing body of Israel. The heads, man, the men. Beginning with who? The men of the Lord. The teachers, man, the prophets. That's going to be the ruling class in the kingdom of heaven. Because that's the upper echelon, man.
The government body.
The governing body, that's right.
It says verse 12.
Which are all men. No woman will have a seat on the council of the 144,000, man.
That's out of order having a woman in the council right there, man.
Yeah, because like the scripture tell you, woman should not usurp authority over the man.
Yep.
You know?
Says verse 5. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000.
Hold up. How can you Christians read this and think that this is not literal, man? It's telling you of the tribe of Judah, of the tribe of Reuben. How can you be spiritually a part of that tribe if you're not actually, you see, of that tribe? It don't work like that, man.
You don't even hold attributes declaring that you're of that tribe.
You don't even hold the DNA. You know what I'm saying? You're not an Israelite. You see? You have to be of these tribes. That's what this is pertaining to. Not you fucking Christians talking about, oh yeah, this is talking about the spiritual body, the church. No. It's talking about actual living, breathing Israelites, man, from their respective tribes. Boy,
God,
According to this word, there's no light in them.
boy, these fucking Christians, bro, this shit is like madness, man. Because that's what Vocab Malone say. The actual 144,000 are not actual Israelites. But who the fuck are they? Because according to the Bible, it's talking about actual Israelites, man. What's up, Shabbat?
oh, I got an account. Not only are they Israelites, and you brothers touched on, they're all men. King Solomon spoke on it in Ecclesiastes 7. It says, "Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account." And the account is dealing with the account of the prophets, the men who understand this, the 144,000 who are going to have that seal in their forehead. This is 7:28, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Just reiterating, there ain't no women in this 144,000, and all the men are from the nation, the tribes of Israel. That's it, Ak.
Y'all, go y'all.
Go ahead. I got Revelation verse 14, chapter 14, verse 1, ESV. Then I looked, and behold, on Mount Zion stood the Lamb, and with him 144,000, who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven like the roar of many waters, and like the sound of loud thunder. The voice I heard was like the sound of harpists playing on their harps. And they were singing a new song before the throne, and before the four living creatures, and before the elders. No one could learn that song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. It is these who have not defiled themselves with women, for they are virgins. It is these who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These have been redeemed from mankind as first fruits for power, and the Lamb, and in their mouth no lie was found, for they are blameless.
And that goes into who? The prophets, man, the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they're the ones who are actually singing the true song, man. You Christians you pagan Christians, you can't get it. This is why you're all out off key, you're out of tune, you fucking coming up with these ways to try to sneak up into these covenants when it doesn't pertain to you, man. You're preaching all manner of false doctrine. You're not living according to what the Most High says you're supposed to be doing. It's because what? You ain't the people that this pertains to, man. This only pertains to the Israelites, man. You see, in the 144,000, they're gonna be singing the true song, man. You see, giving you the proper understanding of what's written in these scriptures. What you got?
I pulled up the article from UN.org. It's the website for the United Nations. It says the risk of nuclear weapons use higher than any time since Cold War.
And why is that? It's prophecy. It's the Most High said so. That's why it's so high.
Right. And pretty much that's what the article says, is that everyone is on high alert for a nuclear war. That they're even struggling to recruit because they don't want to go to a nuclear war.
That's the will of the Most High, man. Everything we said yesterday at camp, everything we see happening in the earth, it's all happening because the Most High ordained it to be. Like the Most High tells you in Isaiah 9:5, if I'm mistaken, that this one shall be fought with burning and fuel of fire. This is how it's going to end. Nuclear missiles are going to be shot, and the elect is going to be saved from it, man. You over to something else, bro?
No, go ahead.
What you got?
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
So that's what we're doing, man. Awakening out of sleep. We're not in darkness as the world is in darkness, man. You see everybody worry about who's going to win the finals, so forth and so on. All these damn breaking circuses going on now. There ain't nothing wrong with being into that, but that shouldn't be your main focus, man. Your life just revolves around sports 24/7. Nah, because we watch sports, we watch boxing, we watch all that, man. But guess what? Our main priority is to do this work. You see, reading these scriptures, keeping it fresh in our mind. So guess what? We won't be caught out here. You see, lacking, man. That day is not going to come upon us unawares because we're actually watching.
Yep.
Hoping and praying that the Most High brings these things to pass, and we see it happening. Like the brother just read the article, this is the highest time of what? The highest chance of going to nuclear war is in this time now because the Most High said it would happen. And who knows that outside of the true believers, man? No one. So when it comes, it's gonna catch everybody off guard, man. Everyone who's not watching is gonna be caught off guard. You got some more?
No,
That was it.
I got something.
What you got, bro?
Because the nuclear war is near, but that means the MOTB is even nearer.
That too.
Revelation 16, it tells you the first vial that's poured out on the earth is them that take that thing, that device, their body.
They're gonna too.
Yeah, and then they're gonna burn in the lake of fire.
Yep. So everything is right on time, man. You see, this word is being pushed out. You got more believers coming in. You see, the more talk about nuclear missiles popping off, you see them pushing forth that digital currency.
Yeah.
So all the prophecies are converging on each other, and they're lining up in perfection, man. Just like the Most High said what happened.
Right.
You see?
Salvation is near.
Salvation is in, man.
Yeah.
I got 2 Peter 3:10.
What's up?
It says, look up, for thy salvation is near.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we've been doing too. Head always.
You mad at Galilee.
Head always in the clouds. Yeah. Yeah,
that same Yahushua should come back that same way he left, man.
Hey,
that's exactly what we're looking up at.
Come back.
Says, this is 2 Peter 3:10. Says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
From what? That nuclear destruction, man. This is what it's going to be. And you don't have to believe it. Guess what? You're still subject to it. You don't have to believe America's going to be destroyed by missiles. You don't have to believe it. We're not begging you to believe it. But guess what? The day is going to come where fire is going to rain from the skies. You see? And Russia is going to spearhead it. According to the Most High's will, man. You got it.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Everything's going to be burned up, baby. Let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And this is how it's going to end, man. This the last great war that's going to take place in on the earth, World War III, is going to be fought with nuclear missiles, man. Let me get this one right as well. Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the days that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Meaning what? The destruction is gonna come, and the elect is gonna be saved, man. You see, that's how it's about to play out. The Most High is about to burn this place the fuck up, and good riddance, man. Good riddance. Y'all brothers holding anything over there? Y'all good?
Yeah, I just want to bring out another article because I'm kind of like, what you brothers are bringing out in the SEPs. I'm kind of going to the articles about it. And it says here in the Gospel News, it says, should Christians worry about nuclear war?
Yes.
Yes. But you know what they tell you in there? It doesn't talk about nuclear war. That's why you Christians are not in the know.
Yep. When have you ever heard the Christians bring out America's gonna be destroyed by nuclear fire? They're not bringing it up because they're not moving or they're not being taught the true doctrine, man. They're being taught paganism. They're being taught dogma, man. Something that doesn't add up to what the scriptures say.
Mm-hmm. I got one more. It says, this one's from the Harvest House Publishers. It says, does the Bible predict a nuclear war in the end times? And it explains it does. The Bible has a great deal to say about what is going to happen in the future, telling you the Bible is prophetic. And one of its most amazing, stunning, and awesome prophecies contains predictions that sound like a nuclear war.
That's because that's what the Most High ordained to be. And that's what's coming, man. And that's why we've been going so hard pushing these videos out so the elect can hear it in hopes of escaping this, man.
Yeah.
You holding your call?
Yeah, I got one. This is Isaiah chapter 47, starting at verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground without a throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for you shall no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind flour, put off your veil, strip off your robe, uncover your legs, pass through the rivers. Your nakedness shall be uncovered, and your disgrace shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will spare no one. Our Redeemer, the Lord, power of hosts is his name, is the Holy One of Israel. Sit in silence and go into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldean, for you shall no more be called the mistress of kingdoms.
Because that's the end of America, man. And Yahweh Shai is gonna come finish the job. You see, he's come back in his full glory with full power to take down Esau's power structure, man. So he can establish his kingdom in the earth forever. This is what it's gonna be. This is what's happening. This is what's taking place. And nothing outside of that is going to happen, man. You see, we know you heathen, got high hopes of establishing this new world order, but it's going to fail, man. You see, it fails. What you holding, Shabbat?
I got Revelation 9 and 15. It says, and the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day, and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them.
And that represents what? Those 200 million thermonuclear warheads that's going to rain down upon America, man. And you people might say it's far-fetched, man. You don't know how many fucking missiles that these nations already have tucked away somewhere, man. That's a part of the art of war. You never let your enemy know exactly what you have. Yeah, they got Russia only has 5,000. Russia ain't gonna tell you exactly what they got. What the fuck? Who does that? Right. Just like America ain't telling Russia everything they have.
Right.
You see?
That's the whole point of war. Is surprise.
Exactly.
Deception to surprise your enemy, like the camouflage. So you blend in.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I got. Nah, hell nah. You gonna find out.
Right.
You're gonna find out what I got when I start using this motherfucker. You ain't gonna just tell you everything. So when and then you had an article come out a couple last year about Russia talking about mass producing nuclear warheads, meaning what? They're gonna start putting these things on the conveyor belt, just rolling them out around the clock, 24/7, and that 200 million is not so far fetched now, man.
Oh yeah, And you know what they just said? Russia paid off Africa's debt. And now they're pretty much having them work with China to build more weapons.
Hey, prophecy, man. What would you say, Shabbat?
Verse 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and jacinth, and brimstone, and the heads of horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone.
Mm.
By these three was the third part. By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke, by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power.
Part. So that third part of men represents the Edomites, man. This is what they've been ordained to suffer, man. This judgment. This nuclear destruction has been tailor-made for the Edomite. That's what it's talking about, the third part of men. Because you have three classifications of men on the earth. You have the sons of God, which are us. You have the sons of man, which are the heathen nations. And you have the sons of the wicked, which represents the so-called white race, the Edomites. And the Most High has tailor-made this destruction for these people, man. It tells you that in Proverbs. The Most High have created the wicked for what? The day of evil. When he unleashes this great judgment that he has set aside just for Esau and his descendants, man. What you got, bro?
I still got one more verse here. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
And that represents what? The Apostle John is breaking down the nuclear missile as best as he can. You see? The power in his mouth being the warheads, the power in his tail is the rocket propulsion system to get it from point A to point B. Now, the Most High is even giving Russia the technology to make hypersonic missiles, you see, that can get from Russia to America in less than 15 minutes, man.
With multiple warheads.
Well, multiple warheads. You see? It's a wrap. That's all you can, I mean, what else can we say? The Most High's laid this thing out to perfection, man. And America's about to suffer greatly. That was it, Shabbat?
Khan. Well, I got another real quick one if I could squeeze it in. In Isaiah 54:16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bring forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy.
And that was what, man? The Most High giving the know-how to these Edomites to bring these destructive devices to fruition, man. So he had that fucking what was that guy, man? The Oppenheimer. So whatever that nigga name was, when they first made the atomic bomb, he says what? I become death, the destroyer of worlds, or some shit like that, man. Because the Most High gave those Smiths the know how to make this nuclear technology, man. And the Most High so cold with it, he gave it to Esau, and he's going to destroy himself with it, man. He's gonna die by falling on his sword falling on him, man. You see, he's gonna be put down with his own blessing. Most High cold, man. What you holding, enough?
Oh no, let's keep going. Y'all brothers ain't holding.
I got something.
What you got?
I got Revelation 21:8. But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
And I ain't talking about some place when you go when you die in hell. Nah, hell doesn't exist, man. The lake of fire is this place that we're walking around in now. We're walking around in the lake of fire now before it's ignited. You see? Right. And everything you see around you is gonna be fucking kindling, man. Kindling and fuel. You see? That's gonna cause this place to burn for a very long time. America is the lake of fire, and we're just waiting for the Most High to burn this bitch up, to ignite it, man.
Right.
Young boy. Huh?
Revelation 20, verse 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
Death and hell. How can hell be cast into itself?
Right.
Death, death and hell is gonna be cast into the lake of fire, man. You see,
Yep.
which is what the destruction of America.
Right. And the changing of our bodies, because we're gonna get new bodies.
Get new bodies, bro.
Yeah.
Woo! We
Because
need
death,
new bodies, man.
we die because we're in these mortal bodies.
Mhm.
You know, and then the hell is the grave where you put in. And that's what the nuclear missiles are about to be destroying, all this land of America.
Mm. Con.
You holding, brother?
Kind.
Yeah.
All right, this is going into like, mark of the beast and the destruction. Kind of ties them in together. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 23.
Mhm.
When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Pretty done.
So this is talking about when Esau brings forth the mark of the beast, he tries to, fully set in his new world order.
Because he gonna get a portion of it done.
Uh,
He'll get some of it done. But
Why you chipping people right now? I sent it to the chat. They got 50 people in Utah that just got the brain chip this month. So it's already being established, like the brother said. He's getting a little bit of it.
So that shows you we're close, man. We're close to the end, man. The salvation of the elect and the destruction of American Babylon the Great. We're in that time, you know what I mean? But as soon as Esau starts rubbing his hands together, thinking he getting ready to, get it fully set in.
like them Jews do.
We finally got them. You know what I'm saying? When they start doing that, all right, that's when the Lord going.
It's like a flip with him.
He'll
He'll have that big ass plate of food and most likely gonna come through and slap that shit down.
That's when the missiles gonna drop, man. They let them go up.
God.
So yeah,
That was it.
that's it.
God, let's get it. Delicious.
Going back into Revelation 7, finishing off verse 5. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Verse 6, of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
And that goes into what? That's what? The leaders of Israel, man.
And that
actual Israelites.
And that tribe of Joseph that just goes into Ephraim.
Right. And those are actual Israelites, man. The governing body of the kingdom of heaven, the 144,000 Israelite men, fulfilling that promise Yahushua made to his disciples of what? Sitting on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what the 144,000 is going to be set up to do. You see?
Proof that it's just Israelites. It doesn't say of the tribe of Esau was sealed 12,000, or the tribe of Moab was sealed 12,000. This is only for Israel.
I can really read this book and try to just twist the Most High's words the way they do. That shit is crazy. Keep going on.
Verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude.
Hey, give me that word from Kendrick right there, bro. Barbecue shop. Now keep reading enough.
Which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb.
And that's talking about Israelites, man. And that fulfills the promise that the Most High made to us, that he spoke through the mouth of multiple prophets, man. How he was going to come and gather his people from all the lands that he scattered us to. That is the multitude that you're reading about right here, man. You see? That is what it's talking about. It's not talking about heathen nations being saved. This is the Most High fulfilling that promise of saving his people from all the lands that we've been scattered to. You got that word for Kendra, bro? Let me hear it.
So this is the Strong's G definition of the word kindred in the Greek. Play it so you can hear it.
Strong's G 5443. Fule.
God.
It goes on to say a tribe. In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
Israelites, man, being gathered as the Most High prophesied. I'm gonna get a few on that real quick. This is Jeremiah 30. So like Deuteronomy 30, it says what? Verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon you, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether Yahweh thy power have driven thee, and shalt return unto Yahweh thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. That's what's being fulfilled right there in Revelation 7, man. That's what the great multitude is talking about. Those Israelites that the Most High promised to gather during the time of Yahweh's second coming. Verse 4 says what? If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. You see? And Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he shall do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. That's what it is, man. And we got it right here also in Jeremiah 31, where it tells you, verse 7, for thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, which is what? North America, and gather them from the coast of the earth. Why? Because he scattered us. And with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of water in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble, which is what? This truth. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Verse 10, hear the word of Yahweh, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, he that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. And that is what's being fulfilled right here in Revelation 7, as the Most High's promise, man. That's what it's talking about when you read about that great multitude out of all kindreds, tongues, people, and nations. Those are the Israelites that the Most High scattered, and he's gathering that remnant back, you see, and saving them as he's promised through all the prophets, man.
Right. It shows you that verse 2, because it says they praise the Lord. Only Israelites have the right to praise him.
Right, the privilege.
The privilege, right?
I got another one backing up the other. This is Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in my anger and in my fury and in great wrath, and I will bring them again into this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely, and they should be my people, and I will be the power.
Every time you hear the Most High say we're going to be his people, and he going to be our God, he's talking about bringing us into the fullness of the second covenant, man. You see? Let me get this one real quick. Oh, man, let's start this song. It's Baruch chapter 2, verse 33. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before Yahweh. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. That's what the Most High, he's feeling that. That's what's been talked about right here in Revelation 7, man. those Israelites that the Most High promised to gather from all the nations we've been scattered to. That's the great multitude, man. You see, you heathen lose again. You see, you tried, but now the true understanding is back in the earth, man, through the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You ain't pulling that bullshit on us no more, man. That great multitude is talking about Israelites who have been gathered from all the lands of their captivities, man. You see? Y'all holding over there?
Yeah, I got something. Revelation 11, I'm sorry, Revelation 12, verse 11. And I'm going to go into the dictionary on the word blood. It says, Revelation 12, verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They loved not their lives unto the death. So when you go into the dictionary, it offers you different ones, but I went into for the blood. So that word blood there, it says as food, where use of an animal, when you the sacrifices of an animal, the priest used to eat them. The blood of sacrifices, Yahweh Shai, he was sacrificed for us, which the number 3 definition is human blood. Yahweh Shai was a sacrifice, and that's what the animal sacrifice was pretty much a foretelling of Yahweh Shai delivering us. It says in the fourth one, this should be number 1. Blood used metaphorically to denote race, because the Lord, he was sacrificed for a certain race of people. See, they tell you he was sacrificed, like everybody knows about, the crucifixion of a Messiah, but they falsify it by telling you a false image or a different race. The true race is the Israelites, and you have to be an Israelite to escape that nuclear destruction that we're going into.
Is that it, bro?
Not yet.
Go ahead, brothers.
What you got?
Just to back up the hot, I bring this out a lot. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, and verse 24. But he answered and said, this is Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right. That's it. Says what it says, man. Clear as day.
Right.
God, I got a quick one. Just to kind of back up what the brother y'all just read. This is Matthew 1 and 21. And he and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai, for he shall save his people from their sins.
And who are his people? The Israelites, man. The Israelites only. Let's get back in that Revelation 7, bro.
This is Revelation 7. And verse 9. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne, and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands.
So just like we just read, Israel is going to come gather from all over the world, man. Coming back looking like all the nations we've been scattered to. One more point to make on that one before we move on to the next verse. Let's get Isaiah 11 and 11.
Hey, brother, you mind if I just get this last piece so I can forget about this on the dictionary? It says, dealing with blood used as a metaphorically to denote race. It also is used in slaughter, as a symbol of slaughter. To wash the feet in blood means to gain a great victory. And, that's what you're going into right there. We're going to be saved by Yahweh Shai and get that great victory over our enemy. And Yahweh Shai is going to slaughter our enemy, and we're going to be in that victory seat with Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Shai. And Esau knows it's in his dictionaries.
Yep. Let me get this is Isaiah 11 and 11. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar, from the islands of and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. There it is. That's what we're reading right here in Revelation 7, man. Those Israelites who've been gathered according to the Most High's promise. So keep going, bro.
Verse 10, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped power, saying, Amen, blessed and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our power forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed with white robes, and whence come they?
So the angel was asking the Apostle John a question, man. Who are these arrayed in white robes? Where they come from? You got it?
And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white the blood of the Lamb.
And that's who? That's the elect of Israel, man. Those who are gonna, somebody get Acts 14 and 22 real quick.
I got you. I'm at 17.
And that this verse right here also cuts that Christian doctrine, man, because they preach a false doctrine of rapture, man. See, this right here says that these men right here are those that came out of great tribulation.
Great tribulation, that's right. We got Acts 7, Acts 14.
I got it. Acts 14, verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
There it is, through much tribulation. And that's what we're reading about right there, man. The brothers that made it through and fulfilled that prophecy. You see? And doing all things, man. And now, as we're reading the prophecy of Revelation 7, they're in the fullness of being the sons of the Most High again. And that's what we're hoping to be. And let's show you that that's Israelites, man, because whose portion is that to walk in that light of going through that tribulation before we can go into the kingdom? It's Israel's light, man, as it tells us in 2 Ezra chapter 7, man. This is verse 3, 2 Ezra 7 and 3. And I said, Speak on my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow, like a river. Who could then go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. There's that city that's set upon that hill, that broad field, wherein all good things, man, represents the kingdom of heaven. But to get there, we have to go through what? The straight gate, and what lies in the straight gate, man? The gate of difficulty, great tribulation. You see? But that's how we're going to be made pure. You see, as we're reading about in Revelation 7, man, to receive those white robes. You see? This is the only way. It says, verse 8, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once, because every man in this truth has to walk this path, man. Ain't nobody hold your hand, can nobody make you do this. You have to walk, you have to be fully persuaded in your mind and walk this path, man. You see? Verse 9 says what? If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Exactly. So we're talking about the new bodies and going into the kingdom of heaven, so forth and so on. But we have to understand that we can only get there through great tribulation. And that time is fastly approaching, man. You see? But once again, it's not for us to be destroyed, it's for us to be made pure. You see? It says what? Verse 10. And I said, It is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, Even so is Israel's portion. So that's who we're reading about coming through great tribulation right here in Revelation 7. Israelites, man. You see, those who stood strictly for the name of the Lord, as we read about in 2 Ezra chapter 2. And one more, and then we'll keep going on that Revelation 7. This is Revelation 7. No, Revelation 21 and 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. He that overcometh what? The great tribulation. We're going to inherit all things, man. And I will be his God, and he shall be my son. That's what we read about right here in Revelation 7. The elect finished the course, stood stiffly, and now they're back in the fullness of being the sons of the Most High.
And you know what's heavy spiritual about that word, overcome? It's Nike, because it's in the Greek.
Victory.
Yep, victory. Yep.
Jake loves Nike, bro.
Yeah, I got Nike. They got the victories on right now.
And that starts with who? Yahushua, man. Through him, we have that victory, man.
Washing our feet in the blood of our enemies.
Let me get one more real quick, and then we'll move on to Revelation 7. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15. And real quick. Yep, 1 Corinthians 15 and 57, it says, But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. You see? That's how we get there, man. You got it?
This is Revelation 7 and verse 15.
What's up?
Can I read this real quick?
Oh, you got it, you got it.
Just because what the brother Anar is reading, literally the same account that he's reading about, obviously we know about this, is Esdras. He saw the same vision that John did, that John the Revelator. This is 2nd Esdras 2 and 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said to me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and received palms. Then said I to the angel, What young person is that crowned them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh.
There it is, man. He's seeing the same account that the Apostle John is seeing. The elect received salvation, and now they're receiving crowns from the Lord Yahushua's hands, man. Because what? They overcame the tribulation and kept the faith through it all. Standing stiffly for the name of the Lord. You got one? You got it.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, starting verse 8. It says, And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Which represents the 2/3 of you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. 66.6% of you are going to die here in the land of America, man.
That's right.
But the 3rd shall be left therein.
The 3rd represents the what? The 144,000 in the great multitude, man. You see?
And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire,
the tribulation,
and will refine them as silver is refined.
Because what? That's how you purge impurities. You see, the Most High puts that pressure on us, give us, have us go through those trials, and when we come out of the trials, we keep the faith through the trials. Our faith is increased, man. Because at the end of the day, that's how we're going to be saved. Through faith are you saved through grace. And by the time the Lord wouldn't be a part of that number, by the time we're going to be taken up into those chariots, man, our faith is going to be maxed out.
Fine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, so like it. And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, And they shall say, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is my power.
That's right. That's right. As it is written. Thus says the Lord. Y'all holding over there? We're gonna keep going.
You got something? Okay. Proverbs 8, verse 1. Does not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice, which it's coming through us. You know, we're doing all these precepts and putting it out there so we can make it understandable for our people, the Israelites that have faith, the hopeful elect, starting with the men. It says, she, being the Holy Spirit, the wisdom, standeth in the top of high places by the way, in the place of the paths. She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors, which is dealing with the prophets. We're doing this right now, right? We're crying out for our people to repent before this destruction comes, before the day of the Lord comes. It says, verse 10, receive my instruction and not silver. Why? Because money ain't going to save you. And knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Let me get the bottom of it. It says, verse 34, blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. Verse 36, but he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death, and they're going to receive that second death.
Way of fire. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Can I give one clear right away? Second Ezra 2:48. It's quick to the point. It says, and the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen.
Because what? He was revealed how it's going to end, man. The Apostle John, Ezra, I was about to call him second Ezra. Ezra, they've seen us receive the victory, man. They're seeing the what? The elect be crowned by Yahweh, wearing white robes, man, being brought back into the fullness of being the sons of the Most High. And that's what's going to happen, man. As the Most High has promised us. That's what we're waiting on.
And the elect, the prophets, man, they have the vision. They read the scriptures. They have the inspiration through the Holy Spirit, man, the Ruach HaKodesh, man, and they're seeing it. We're able to see these words come to life, man. And what are we commanded to do?
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Go out there and preach, man.
That's right. Go ahead, bro.
Says Revelation 7:15. Therefore are they before the throne of power, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them.
Because what? We're going to be back in the fullness of being the sons of the Most High.
Oh,
and when we come back on that level, the Most High is going to dwell amongst us even here on the earth. He's going to be able to dwell in the midst of us when we go back into our land, man. Because we're going to be perfect. Because he can't come, we can't approach to the Most High right now in this filthy state that we're in. So we have to be changed. And bro, we gonna be on a different level. The earth is gonna be on a different level. It's gonna be crazy once we come back into that fullness, man.
Yep.
Oh, that reminded me of my dream, bro.
Mm.
Ooh, I had a heavy dream just a couple weeks ago, I think, or a week or something like that. Maybe this week. I forgot, and I told the brothers that I had a dream where, you know, I was along the side of this wall, and you know, I could see like a room, like a temple in the middle, man, and like all the walls surrounded that one. And I seen an elder, couple brothers. I seen brothers I had never seen before, not even on videos. I knew they were brothers. Like I said, we were there, bro, and our focus was that middle housing there, man. And it only had one entrance, man. Nothing around it. It was set at a high spot in the middle. It's Japal, bro. It's beautiful. That's what we have coming for us, man. You know, where we're never gonna have to fear anything else, man. Being among Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, man. That's a beautiful thing when we come back to our power, man. where we're never gonna have to fear anymore.
I remember you said, yeah, you weren't worried about nothing in that dream once, you know.
God, yeah, it was like a calm feeling when I in that dream. It was a calm feeling. It was a calm feeling, bro. Like the brothers were calm. We were laughing, this and that. There was times where we were serious, but we were there and we didn't have to worry about anything outside of us.
What a feeling.
Yep. Revelation 21:4 says, "And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying." Matter of fact, Revelation 21:3. "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power." Because what? We're going to be brought back into the fullness of being the Most High's sons through our Lord Yahweh Shai. Verse 4, "And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." No worries about anything, man. No care. We're gonna be good, man.
Right.
You see? And
Those
that's
good
what and that goes into that expected end that the Most High has for his people, according to Jeremiah 29:11.
Right. But can I grab a set real quick? Because the brother's
Sure.
dreaming what you got. This is dealing with Isaiah, and he was pretty much being shown a vision
Yes.
of the chariots and the angels. Isaiah 6, verse 8. "Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me." See, because that's why we actually have these visions, is because we were there with the Lord, and it's all coming back into remembrance. That's what the Holy Spirit does. See, that's why we're having visions, dreams. What did the prophets have in the past? Visions and dreams. The wicked, they're being tormented. These 2/3, they're being tormented. But us, we're having visions and dreams being brought upon us by the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. See? And we're willing to go. We're here doing this work. You know, may we endure to the end, you know?
We'll keep going. We're gonna wrap it up.
This is Revelation 7:16. "They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of water, and power shall wipe away all tears from their eyes."
No cares, no suffering, no pain, no more torment, no more oppression. You see? And
Finally being in safety.
that was the last verse.
God.
And that's what the Most High has promised his people, man. He didn't promise this to all nations. This is the Most High fulfilling all his words that he's spoken of bringing his people into an everlasting state of peace. And we'll end it on this one, man. This is Jeremiah, because I just quoted it, Jeremiah 29:11. Because at the end of the day, this is what the Most High wants to do for us, and it will be fulfilled, as we can see. It's in the end of the book. Read Revelation 1:1.
So Revelation 1 verse 1, the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach, which power gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
To show unto his servants, who? The prophets. Of what? Future prophecies of things that must shortly come to pass, man.
Yeah.
You see? So,
yep. Hey, brother, can I just get one more? I'm sorry.
You got it.
Isaiah 6, verse 11. "Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate." So, we're going to be out here till that time for our time.
Yeah. So we'll wrap it up on this one, man. This is Jeremiah 29, because at the end of the day, this is always one. That's why Yahweh said, what? "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." That's what it's going to be. What's up? Go ahead.
So I must be allowed.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Spirit. All right, it's Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 52.
Uh-huh.
For unto you is paradise open.
Oh, yeah.
The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom.
Right.
The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the mouth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten.
Because what, man? That's the expected end the Most High has for his people. These heathen really want the Most High to keep us in captivity forever. No, that ain't what the Most High ordained, man. We only went through this so we can see what it's like to live in wickedness. Now we've learned our lesson and we don't like it. We want to get the fuck up out of here. I was like, I got you. Because according to my will, I'm going to save you from this decrepit state and bring you back into the fullness of being the sons of the Most High. Why? It's because I have thoughts of peace toward you. You see? That's what it is, man. We not going to be here forever. You fucking heathen. We're about to come back into what the Most High has promised for us, man. Or promised to us.
It even says that Yahweh doesn't want to see us to die, man. But we all come to repentance, man. But we know that and he knows only that the 1/3 is going to come back into repentance.
He's only set up for the 1/3 to come back. Like the brother call y'all just read, the 2/3 going to be blind until this place is left desolate.
Yep.
You see? So
Yeah, let me bring this one out before you bring that closing one out.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places.
That's exactly what we're about to do. That's exactly what's happening. Our enemies have been found liars. Everything you told us has been a lie. And the Most High has revealed He's revealed his secret unto his servants, the prophets, and we're making it known to the world. Everyone is being lied to, man. This is what it's going to be. This is the reality according to what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has ordained, man. You see? That's what it is. Yes, Mom, go ahead.
Good. All right, Second Ezra 8 and verse 54. Sorrows are past, and in the end it showed the treasure of immortality.
And that's what the Most High ordained for us to come into. You see, because we are the vessels of glory. You see, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. He's gonna make it known to the world.
Your call
So
got
Jeremiah. Huh?
Your call got it.
What you got, your call?
I got Psalms 23, verse 1. It's the Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows.
That's what the Most High has done for us, man. He's leading us in the way. He has Yahweh Shai leading us back to him, man. And when it's all said and done, we're going to escape this valley of death, and we're going to be brought into the fullness of life, man. Forevermore.
Green pastures.
The green pastures, baby. Woo, yeah. This is Jeremiah 29 and 11. It says, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. And I will be found of you, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and I will turn away your captivity.
And you hear that part? You hear that? He says, I'll be found amongst you, because we're remembering his name. The other Israelites, they ain't remembering him, bro.
It says what? Verse 14. And I will be found of you, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. This is what's about to play out. This is what's about to come to pass because what? This is a promise that the Most High has made unto his people, man. This is what it's going to be. You see?
Yep.
Everything that you heathen are fighting so hard to try to establish, the Most High is going to cast that bullshit down, and he's going to set his people on top to rule this planet Earth in righteousness forevermore according to his will, man. You see? And that's just what it is. And there is nothing that anyone can do to stop this. This has been set in motion from the beginning, and the Most High, his words will be fulfilled over the course of time, man. And the world is about to see it. So you already witnessing it. You see? And so with that, man, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect because that's what we do it for. So we're going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, God, Wadaj. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect out there, pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai has created us to do. With that, we're going to say Shalom, Wa, Ba, Ba, Ba.
Ball.
Pop the ball.
ETA song.